Beep, beep. Hi, everybody. This is good. The problem is I just spit out gum, and it's that spearmint wintry fresh nonsense crap. And so that was an assault upon my taste buds. Mama Lake. All right, let's open up the stream. Let's see what's up. How are we doing this fine evening, ladies and gentlemen? Boys and girls of all ages. Oh, that's a fun face to freeze on. I love it. It's great. Good time. A good time was had. No, but seriously, how are we this fine evening? I am feeling so much more energetic than I did last week. I don't know what or why. It's not like I took it easy today at all. I got so much done. So much. It was a good time. So I got the bathroom cleaned. I got the floor mopped. I got the laundry did. Most of the laundry did. I have one last load to fold before it's done. You know, the way that laundry do. Gotta open up Streamlabs. Got some production shenanigans in the works. Not as much as I'd like to have gotten, but yeah. Enough that I'm satisfied with myself. Hung out with my grandma, Nana Jones, the elder Mrs. Weebo. She's doing she's doing well, all things considered. What else did I do today? I took a shower. I had sushi for breakfast because no one can stop me. Ha! Yeah, that's right, Daniel Follman. Chores never end. The older you get, the more they pile on. I'd like to get to a point in my life where I could just hire someone to do all of my chores so I can focus on the important stuff. You know, like, I don't know. Writing the book that has yet to be finished. Writing all of the scripts that I could possibly want to write. Video gaming, that'd be nice. If I had more time to play video games. Although I did play a hefty amount last night. If you go to 2 Cents Plus, I played like a game of Phasmophobia with the boys. And that was great. They enjoyed torturing me. Yeah. And then I played Conan Exiles as well until about midnight, which is when I started developing this horrid migraine in my skull. Which, those are not fun. Oh, you know what? I actually got a whole bunch of test results back too. Apparently, like lab results from a wellness check that I did with my company, because we have to do that annually in order to not pay an arm and a leg in insurance premiums. Anyway, I got some lab results back, and apparently I'm anemic, or on my way to being anemic. Either way, it means that I have to take more iron supplements. Which would, I guess, explain some of the headaches that I've been getting and the fact that I've been so fatigued as of late. So hopefully we can get that squared away. What else is new? Abaddon the Despoiler says that Weebo's book is never going to be finished. You take that back, you. Did I get scared? Asked Daniel Follman. I mean, not as much as I would if everyone else was as freaked out as I was. Because they all kept a really level head, because they're like level 150s or whatever. I am not a pro. I am a level 1. And so all the things that would freak me out did freak me out, but not nearly as much as they would have if it was just me and if it was just me, or even if it was just someone else who was as experienced as I am and as prone to freaking out as I am. Don't get me wrong, I like getting freaked out. I just I think the worst part of it is the anticipation, the building dread of something horrible is going to happen, and you don't know who it's going to happen to. Anyway, Monkey ended up dying during our round. Was it I think Stunlock was on with us, and Satsu was on with us. And Stunlock was torturing me. He was shutting the door on me, and I couldn't figure out how to open and close the door for the life of me. So I'm freaking out, trying to move my mouse, and it was fun. I'd do it again. But I'm totally gonna get him back. So yes, I did get scared, but I did not die. Cynical Lindsay, do you have pica? I've heard that's a common symptom of anemia. I don't know. What is pica? Pica. Googles furiously what pica is. Not Pikachu. Pica. Pica. Symptom. The internet ruins things. Oh, it's PICA, not PIKA. Stomach upset, stomach pain, blood in the stool. No, not really that. Glad that's the only picture that brings up, nothing else. No, it's not that kind of a symptom. It explains like the headaches that I've been getting, because I wrote down the symptoms. I wrote stuff down, people. I have them right here. We're about to get like super personal. Not really. Low iron would explain tiredness and headaches, and my tendency to have a fast heart rate. That I thought was just because I was smaller than your average human. What else? No. But there's also the fact that I donated blood a week before I got these lab results done. And I don't know if that would have affected the results as either. So I'm unsure, but it does mean that I should probably do some life change shenanigans, if you know what I mean. Yeah. But yeah. I'm going to need to get into this ghost game with you guys. Yeah, it would be a great time. I think so Satsu gave me a link that I can use to dual cast, and I've been playing with it a little bit as well. That was part of my production shenanigans that I went into today, where I can dual cast between Twitch and YouTube, and that would make, game streams a lot easier to do if I could do it between streaming services. And I know that you guys, being you guys, would absolutely enjoy seeing me freak out over a game ghost. Because that's just the way that my audience is. Very sadistic when it comes to the Weebo. Yeah. I mean, for Christ's sake, we raised over $1,000 for charity, with the promise that I would wax my armpits live on stream for everybody to see. And oh boy, did that happen. It happened like that. I'm not allowed to do things like that anymore, I've been told. Anyway. Hi all. No Polly, said John Smith, sprint cars rule. He's late. As is standard. We'll see him eventually. When he remembers that I exist. Just kidding. We tease. It's okay. I wonder if there would be a better time that would be more convenient for this man to come home and stream. If not, oops. If this is just the standard across the board, which I'm pretty sure that it is, because we used to stream on Sundays, if y'all remember. And also, I'm pretty sure that Norvar does not have a set schedule. And also, I'm pretty sure that comic book curation starts way later than it's supposed to. At least the one time that I was on, it started about an hour and a half after I was told that it was going to start, which drove me insane the first time. I was like, okay, I'm here. I was worried that I would be late the first time. Turns out it doesn't really matter much because it's fine. At least I didn't even get the link until an hour after we were supposed to start. So I'm like, did I get the time wrong? I'm driving myself insane, but this was before I knew about Polly's bad habits. David Doge says, anemia, I thought, is a lack of red blood cells, so you can eat more red meat to fix it. There are different types of anemia. I know the low iron anemia is when you have not enough iron in your blood, and it's actually something that a lot of women my age have to look out for because we lose a lot of blood periodically. And so we have to kind of keep an eye on that. So it's not out of the realm of possibility. It's actually quite standard. Well, as standard as you can get with health concerns. It's par for the course, I guess. Par for the course. Whatever. It is not uncommon. There we go. That's the term that I wanted to go for. It is not uncommon for this to be the case. And so really all that I have to do, and my lady doctor has told me this previously when I started birth control. The first time I ever went to visit her, she goes, all right, we're going to get you on some iron just in case. And of course, me being me, I kind of let that wane a little bit in recent years because I didn't see a point, but now I see a point. And so we're going to get back on that train, get back on that track, and hopefully things will improve. We shall see. But you know what? I'm okay with it. As long as this is like the only thing that's actually wrong with me and it's not like threatening, I'm good to go. I'll take low iron counts. Yeah. Shitty Grin donated to say, Polly, you look a lot like Weebo. Stop. Yes, he does. Doesn't he? Periodically. I see what you did there, says Daniel Follman. Yes, you did. Yeah. Oh, you guys are good with the comments today. Polly is never late, Frodo Jones. He arrives precisely when he means to. You know, I've come to a point in my life where I've resigned myself to that hobbit life. All right, I'm okay with it now. I've accepted it. You know, I was in denial for much of my previous existence, and now I can dig it. We can jive. Let's go. Let's do this thing. Let's do this thing, Chicken Wing. I'm not opposed. Just so long as I don't have to have hairy feet, you know, we can shave that. It's fine. Let's go. Yeah, no, I've embraced the hobbit life. It's fine. I'm gonna stop letting the short jokes get to me. This I swear. Daniel Follman, second breakfast? Oh, yes, absolutely. Actually, okay, all right. This is where actually we might disagree. I don't get hungry in the morning. At least not when I first wake up. So I have to wait until at least noon before I start eating. And then I can munch all day, all the live long day. The rest of the whole day, I could just snack on like cheese and crackers, soups, rice, porridge. I don't fucking care. Whatever is we got. I'm down. Let's go. Yeah, I'm gonna embrace Shawty Jones. It's happening. So, I missed out on Oktoberfest, but I did not hesitate to purchase a Sammy Adams winter lager. I'm getting into that aspect of alcohol now that I can, and I have enough fridge space to indulge. Because previously, right, I had to share fridge space with 7 other people. And so I could not overly indulge on beer. On a whim. And also, if I happen to not like what was in a 6-pack, I'd either have to find someone to give the 6-pack to, or drink it all myself. Now, I don't have to find somebody. El Boyfriendo is my beer disposal apparatus when he's here. He's not here right now. So if I don't end up liking a beer, I just give them the rest to him because he likes every beer except for the summer shandies, which hardly are a beer, let's be honest. But yes, I indulged on the winter lager, and I'm not gonna lie, this is not bad. I'm a little bit sad that I didn't get a chance to indulge with the Oktoberfest this year, but there's always next year because it is a seasonal thing, but it's temporary. So I'll get on that pony lickety split the next time it comes around. Pneumatic Autist says, I can't even do first breakfast. Am I an elf? I don't know. Do elves not eat breakfast? Can we confirm this? Does anyone have a similarly in handy? I don't. But I'm sure we have some nerds in the audience that would be happy to oblige. And then Dante041 says, must be a Brandy Brook. I don't know. Do they not like breakfast? Maybe they don't like breakfast. Cynical Lindsay, I don't either. I can't only handle a coffee in the morning, and even my stomach will hate me for it. Yeah, see, I need coffee in the morning. I need coffee before anything else. I need at least a cup of coffee before I can indulge in business shenanigans. Any business shenanigans. I don't care what it is. I need my cup of joe before I can do anything. And sometimes I don't get it, and I'm a bitch. I mean, I'm a bitch anyway. But sometimes I don't get it, and I'm a bigger bitch than I normally am. And as a result, it's not fun. I'll say that. So I need my coffee is the moral of the story. Our boyfriend has learned this. He makes my cup. He preps it. He even turns the coffee maker on before I get up in the morning, and I love him so much for that. Oof. That's the kind of man in your life you need, ladies. A man who will make you a cuppa in the morning before he leaves for work. And who does the dishes for you. I'm gonna marry that boy. Spirit Thief says, I switched to Medical Mary. No more antipsychotics soon. Means I can drink again. But where to start? So I will share with the class my drinking journey. The first drink that I ever actually had was at 5 years old accidentally, when I went for a water out of my grandmother's Go Cup, and came to find that it was not, in fact, water, as I had presumed it was. It was actually gin and tonic. Yeah, that was my first drink. And then soon after that, I had like a tiny sip of vodka straight, and I died. I died inside. And this was like when I was, 8. And it was edgy to steal liquor out of the liquor cabinet. And I only did it because I wanted to fit in with the other girls that I was hanging out with at a sleepover. It was with my cousin on my mother's side. So there's that. Maybe it was a little bit older than 8. Anyway, after that, my first actual drink that I finished, that I intentionally drank, it was at, I believe I was 15 or 16, and I was at the races with my father and his friends. It's like an annual thing that we do. We go out and we watch the sprint car races during the summer. And it's like a 3-day affair. You're staying overnight. You're driving all the way out there. You're tailgating for an entire day. Nowadays we actually camp on site, but previously we'd shacked up with friends, my dad's friends, at my dad's friend's house. And so we were hanging out in the basement of their house this first year that I went to the racetrack with my dad. We're hanging out, and my dad's friend goes, Mr. Weebo, Mr. Jones, you mind if I pour your daughter a drink? And he goes, yeah, sure, go ahead. And he goes, all right, so what would you like, Weebo? And I go, I don't know. So he pours me a rum and coke because, that's baby's first drink, basically. It's a Captain Morgan and just regular old Coke out of the can. And he pours me like a generous amount. And the whole time, all of the adults in the room, they're watching me drink this drink. And I get this talk at the end of when I'm like this much of my drink left. My dad's friend goes, you see, we were testing you. He gives me this whole speech. He goes, we know you're responsible. You want to know how we know you're responsible? It's because you didn't drink that like it was water. And so we know that you don't drink normally, that this is your first drink. But you also didn't chug it and die like a noob. or like someone who is trying to prove themselves would. It's a really weird conversation, but it was very, I guess, insightful. Because at the end of that, I finished the drink and I wasn't feeling super tipsy at all, because I think he poured it really, really light. I don't know. This was many, many years ago, but that was like the only drink that I had for a while afterwards. And then in college, freshman year, I had maybe a shot here, a shot there, not a lot. Sophomore year, same case. And then I went to Greece. And I had wine for the first time. Like, I actually had wine. Because it was a staple of the meal. You drank wine with every, like, dinner. It was complimentary. It was provided. It was there. It was a part of the staple of Greek life that you drank wine. It was like, it came in these giant carafes, like how water does, or how like a Coca-Cola does for a party when you have a whole bunch of people seated at the table. This giant carafe of wine. Red, and then they had white as well, because they know that people like to have options. And so I was like, what the heck? When in Rome, well, in this case, Greece. When in Greece, do as the Grecians will. And so I tried wine, and I kept trying wine, and I found to enjoy wine. So I came back home from Greece with a newly found appreciation for alcohol, specifically wine. And I went to the racetracks that year, and I indulged in the mixed drinks with the rest of my family. They were so proud of me. You have no idea. They were like, oh, Weebo, you're drinking with us now. Oh, you're normal now. But yes, I'm still lightweight. I mean, I've yet to black out when I drink. When I've drank previously, I haven't had that experience. I have had one hangover since I started drinking. But that was because I had some of the strongest tequila I've ever had in my entire life. It's Don Julio's. It was half a shot, and I had nothing else but taquitos in my stomach the entire night. So here we are. Now I'm trying to get more into that beer scene. Because, you see, for my 21st birthday, I went to a winery. Because even though I like wine, I didn't know what kind of wine I liked. So I knew I liked white, but I didn't know. I knew that it wasn't every white. And I wanted to know if there was a difference between the reds as well. So I went to an actual winery, and I tried a bunch of wines to see what I liked to drink the most and with what. And I found out that I'm a really big fan of Moscato, but I can only drink so much of it. I'm a big fan of certain reds as well. And anyway, I found out a lot about my wine palate. The next year, my 22nd birthday, which was this year, I intended to go to a brewery and basically do the same thing. You know, each year of my life for the next 10 years or so was to indulge in my alcoholic education. But there was a monkey wrench kind of thrown into that plan, unfortunately. I did not end up going to a brewery because like a month before my birthday, they kicked everyone out of college, and I had to go home, and everything shut down. So I have to do it the old-fashioned way, buying a six-pack and playing roulette. So yeah, that is my alcohol story. What's yours? I'd love to hear it, guys. I know I can't be the only person who, I don't know how to explain it, just didn't have a desire to indulge and has completely flipped 180 in that respect. Mm-hmm. Cynical Lindsay goes, I am a cheap drunk too. Yes, it's quite nice to be a cheap drunk because that means that I don't spend as much as on alcohol as everyone else does. You know what's funny is my dad was always... Okay, we're going to talk more about my aversion to alcohol previously. My dad, I think, was a little bit disappointed by my lack of enthusiasm for shenanigans. Because I was a very boring teenager. Let's be honest, all right? I did have a boyfriend. But I was always home for curfew, never threw a party, did all of the things that I was supposed to, never got arrested, never got pregnant, etc., etc., etc. I was the perfect student, to the point where I got straight A's in high school, okay? And then went off to college. Basically nothing changed. I was a self-sufficient college student, went off to college, and it was like business as usual for me, except now I didn't have any supervision, so I didn't really act out. I didn't feel a need to because, I don't know, I just didn't. But I think my dad was a little bit disappointed by that. At least slightly. I think he wanted a more exciting daughter in that respect. Just very slightly, because if you go too exciting, all of a sudden she's barefoot, pregnant, and I don't know, the girlfriend of some gangbanger person in Chicago. What I think he kind of was hoping would happen was that I would kind of break out of my shell a little bit, become more of a social person, which I guess I did. But I always got the impression that my dad thought that I was kind of a loner, at least in high school, especially in high school, because I didn't go to parties, I didn't go to people's houses. I didn't do a lot beyond taking care of the family and school stuff and taekwondo, which was fine. Wife of some gangbanger person that is also barefoot in the kitchen. Got it. No. Not wife. The girlfriend person of some gangbanger person in Chicago who is also barefoot in the kitchen. Yeah. I don't know where that vision was taking me. I always got the impression that my father thought that I wasn't living up to my full social potential because I wouldn't go out of my way to hang out with people or meet new people. I was exactly like he was growing up. Well, growing up was exactly like he was when I was growing up, where we didn't go out much, kind of were homebodies, just, enjoyed ourselves by sitting in front of the TV at the end of a long day and relaxing and then going to bed and then doing it all over again in the morning. My brother was the one that was more of a social person, but that's because he didn't feel as much of an urge to have that put togetherness to the home life. Because when I went to high school, right as I was going to high school, that was when my mother stopped coming to pick me and my brother up. And then right after that, my stepmother left. And so it was just me, my dad, and my brother again, which was fine by me. I became the queen of the castle. But with being queen of the castle comes certain obligations, like doing grocery shopping, some of the cleaning, waking your brother up to make sure he gets to school on time, driving him every to and where. I spent one entire summer going to summer school right before I turned 16, so I could finish out driver's ed before I would need it, I guess. Because the next year, my dad would need me to be the driving person who did all of the extraneous shenanigans, because at that point, he was a single father again. So, a lot of my formative teenage years were not as exciting as they could have been. And that was because I felt like I needed to step up. So in a way, I guess you could say the reason why I'm such a success case is because I was parentified. Except I parentified myself because I saw that there was a need to. And that's a word that I've started to hear a lot because I've been reading a lot more of Reddit stories. I don't know how true they are, but a lot of Reddit stories like r/, I don't know, am I the asshole, or r/relationship advice, or r, whatever subreddit you want to peruse. Every once in a while, you'll come across a story of a person who resents their parents and their home life because they feel like they've been parentified and taken advantage of. And while that definitely happened while I lived with my mother, and I resent that aspect, it also happened to some extent while I was with my father, but I don't resent that. And I find that quite fascinating. And I think the difference is because I was never made to step up while living with father, whereas with my mother, when this occurred, it was a lot younger. It was around 9 to around the time that she left. I was guilted into being parentified and manipulated in that way. And there's a difference between having a parent force you into that role and taking up that role of your own accord because, like, no one else is going to do it. Wow, this got real quick. I'm so sorry, guys. Oh, anyway, I should give you guys a definition of what exactly parentification is, because not everyone knows what it is. It's a new term for myself as well, but I'd like to talk about it. Okay, so here it is. It is the process of a role reversal whereby a child is obliged to act as parent to their own parent or sibling. In extreme cases, the child is used to fill the void of the alienating parent's emotional life. So what I mean by that is, like, in my case, with my mother, it was raising my little brother and my sister while I was 9 years old. So that's diaper changing, that's bottle feeding, that's dinner making. There's a lot of stuff that you wouldn't impose upon a 9-year-old. And that was primarily because my mother could not be bothered at this point to do much. Yes, she worked, but she worked out of the house, and she very easily could have done all of that stuff around her schedule if she had time managed better. So what ended up happening was, I took up that mantle because it was convenient to have a 9-year-old able-bodied person in the stove with the spoon and the doing of the stirring and the laundry, etc., etc. Now, this did come with a lot of what's the word that I'm looking for here? Independence? No, because she wouldn't let me leave the house either, because she was absolutely terrified that someone would kidnap us. That's a whole other nut to crack open. We'll get there. I had a lot of say in how things were done and what was done. So long as it got done, my mom didn't have a problem. So dinner, I could make whatever. So long as the kids got fed, it was fine. Keeping the kids quiet, I could handle that however I wanted to, so long as they were quiet when she had clients in the household. Because remember, my mother was a beautician and she worked from home. That's very important. I could not have either of the children in the basement where it was that she was working, but that's also where the game room was, so it was very difficult to keep everyone entertained when they couldn't get to their toys in the basement. A lot of the times, I would put on a movie or TV show and let them watch that while I went and did something else, like, I don't know, swept, cleaned, made dinner, took a moment to breathe. With Dad, I also had a lot of ability to do a lot more because I had the ability to drive wherever I needed to. I just had a schedule that I needed to adhere to. So if a brother Weebo had to go to the dentist, I had to bring him to the dentist. The orthodontist, I had to bring him to the orthodontist. Violin lessons for either of us, had to do that. And then I still got to do extracurricular activities too. So I had to work that around. But I could do a lot of whatever I wanted to. And Dad helped out a lot too in that respect. We would switch off making dinners, or we would just order out, and that was fine. With Mom, it was less that case. Daniel Pullman, since you want to be a writer, do you also read a lot? Oh yeah, I do. An awful lot. It's funny actually, because when I was younger and I had all of the shenanigans to do, I did a lot of reading. And I would end up, because I didn't have a lot of time during the day, I would end up staying up late to read. And this was before I had a smartphone, so I had to use the old-fashioned book method. Oh God, I can't believe I'm saying that's old-fashioned, but I had to read out of a book in the dark and use a flashlight. And sometimes it would be a flashlight. More often than not, and this is probably why I have glasses now, it was my flip phone. So I had one of those LG flip phones that I would just spam the end button out of while I was reading down the page of my book. Just going ham on the book, because I just, for whatever reason, could not put any story down. I absolutely love hearing stories, reading stories, seeing stories, anything with a plot and compelling characters and arcs and a decent amount of imagery. You know, I'm down. Let's go. But one thing that I really don't like to do, or read, I guess, poetry. Can't stand it. I cannot stand poetry. That being said, I have written many, many a poem, but I cannot stand to read it. It does not appeal to me in the slightest. Daniel Fullman, when you said clients in the house, I thought we were taking a darker turn. No, she's a beautician, or she was a beautician. She's retired now. She did hair. And it's part of the reason why I'm so, like, about my scalp. Can't touch this. With chemicals or anything. David Dodge. Think about it. One day you'll make a great mother for sure. Or good mother for sure. Weebo, that's a plus. That is true. I am a fantastic mother, but I also feel like I've been ruined. Because I'm the party mom. All the time. I can't turn it off. So if I see that something needs to be done, I'm going to do it. And I won't relax until I do it. And it gets to a point where El Boyfriendo was like, Weebo, just fucking relax. Jeez. Sit down. Go. He threatened to tie me to the bed last week. Not for the reason you think. Because I was just like, woo! Doing all of the things. I was like, I have to vacuum. He goes, no, you have to relax. Sit. And I'm like, but I have to vacuum before it gets dark because there's no working lights in that apartment. And I have to vacuum it because we have stuff to... And he goes, no, you don't. I'll do it. Which is another reason why I love that boy, because he steps up when I need him to. For the most part. Although I will say this, boy needs to learn how to clean my crock pot. That was not a euphemism. Or I need to get him better sponges. That's probably it. yes, I do like to read. I like to read a lot. I don't get as much time to do it as I wish I could, unfortunately. With adulthood comes a lot of obligation, which is not new. But it takes second to every other responsibility that I have. Because I have work, I have a house, apartment to maintain. I have other apartments that I need to maintain too as part of the deal on the rent with my landlord. Family obligations, relationship obligations, YouTube obligations. I don't get a lot of time to myself. Unfortunately. I think that is going to be my biggest regret as I get older, is that I didn't take as much time to enjoy life, to slow down, to kind of soak it all in. And I don't know if it's because I'm afraid to take a moment, to take a beat, to stop, because I don't anticipate anyone else stepping up into my place. Because it's been drilled into me that I am the one that needs to do the thing all of the time. Or you can't get something done right, or it's not going to get done right unless you do it, Weebo. You alone can prevent forest fires. You know, that's why I think my ideal superpower would be to have the ability to clone myself or replicate myself temporarily so I can get more shit done and then just zoom back to myself, or like collect the rest of myself at the end of the day and retain all of that shenanigans that I had done or learned previously. Because there's not enough hours in the day. There's not enough hours in my entire lifetime to get all of the things done that I want to do. So I have to make concessions. And unfortunately, I'm finding more and more that those concessions are my sleep and my free time. Talking about the boyfriend makes me miss the nut button. Well, he didn't take it with him. He left it here, I think. Hang on, let me find the nut button. Yeah, it's right here. Nut. I got it. He didn't take it with him. I have it right here. Nut. Yeah, I hope he's having fun. I hope he's not doing anything super embarrassing with my family. Remember, guys, he is up in Wisconsin with 15 other members, male members of my family, and they're all chopping down trees, or they were earlier today, and now they're either sitting around a campfire drinking beer or passed out from exhaustion. Dave Doge, what exactly is the nut button and what does it mean? This is the nut button. Nut. That's what it means. It's just one of those things that has become a staple of the channel, I guess. Is that a wine fridge in the corner? Asks Daniel Follman. No, that is El Boyfriendo's console cage, I guess, is one way to put it. It's where all of his consoles for his gaming setup hang out, are stored, are plugged in. It's kind of like for cable management, I guess. So instead of having them stacked up in the open on a table or whatever, they go in the cabinet. So that's what that's for. I wish we had a wine fridge. I would love a wine fridge, but that would be more of an electricity bill than I care to pay for at this juncture. Maybe when we have a bigger place, because I haven't given a house tour yet. I will eventually, or an apartment tour. I will eventually, but we don't have a lot of free space to just kind of put extraneous shenanigans that we don't really need. We have all the furniture we need right now. And then some, in fact. like there's a whole other shelf over here that you guys can't see with El Boyfriendo's shenanigans on it. Like he's got, well, his Nintendo game, his Pokemon stuff. I don't know what else he's got up there. No, that didn't help. I can't see better when I don't have my glasses. Assassins of the Grey, what do you mean? Joke. Oh, Weebo, it's not a book. It is a non-volatile organic high-density data storage device. Okay. Now that I'm reading it, I see that, yes, that is amusing. Sorry. I'm skipping around. Dave Doge. Going out chopping down trees with the guys and having beers out camping, LARPing as lumberjack sounds great, but people will say he's a lumberjack and he's okay. Say that he's a lumberjack and he's okay. Well, they're not camping, actually. They're okay. So this is an annual thing that my family's been doing for the last, 50 years or so. It's because the cabin in the woods, naturally, has a lot of trees around it. And so, and not to mention, we use a lot of firewood because we go up there quite frequently and we have a lot of fires. So to maintain the wood pile, the wood burning pile, we have to cut down trees. In addition, to maintain the area that we live at for, 2 months out of the year, we have to chop down trees as well. Partially because they die, partially because some of them get diseased, and partially because some of them are in the way. Now, we do plant trees. We take an entire weekend to plant trees as well, but that's less of an event than Lumberjack Weekend is, which is exclusively guys. I have never been up there in my entire life for Lumberjack Weekend. Although, when I was younger, I made a big stink and a fuss about not being invited up, because despite my effeminate shenanigans, I considered myself to be one of the guys, which happens when you grow up in a house full of dudes. Dad, brother. Or when you're raised by a dude. Sorry. Oops. So I wished. It was like the one thing that I wanted every single year. It was the biggest point of contention in the family was, Weebo wants to go up for Lumberjack Weekend. No. But it's fine. They tried to bribe me with going to get my nails done, which I did enjoy. But it wasn't probably as fun as following my dad around with a chainsaw. Oh, God, I hope that's not what's going on right now. El Boyfriendo was a bit apprehensive. Not just like a tiny bit apprehensive about this weekend, because he's like, this is it. This is the weekend your father's been waiting for our entire relationship. This is the weekend that I'm going to die. Because, in the back of every man's mind is the thought of his father-in-law probably is more than likely thinking about killing him. Just a little bit. No, I think they're doing just fine. The only concern that I have is that El Boyfriendo will do something completely embarrassing because he'll have drank too many beers. That's my only concern. And if that's the worst of it, I'll take it. But yeah, we have a few family events like that are formatted as kind of like event weekends. The whole family gets together to get work done that needs to get done. So there's Lumberjack Weekend, there's Takeout Weekend, which is when we take all of the water shenanigans out and put it away and winterize everything. That happened maybe a month ago. And then there's Put In Weekend, which is when we take all of the things out of storage and we put them all in the lake again. So that's boats, piers, that's really it. But it's a lot. It's 3 whole piers, 3 boats, 2 jet skis, and any other watercraft that anyone wants to launch. It's prepping all of that for the summer activities, which is something that we greatly indulge on. We Joneses. Dave Dodge. Nah, but chopping down trees with guys and then beer sounds great. Well, it's not just chopping down trees and beers. So what I understand that they do is every day they go out to eat at this little breakfast place in town, which is about, I don't know, 17, 20 miles away. No, maybe that's a little bit excessive. It's about 20 minutes, though, drive-wise. So they go to this little breakfast joint in town, and then they come back, and then they get the day started. And the whole day is just them walking around in their lumberjack gear with their chainsaws out and the log splitter, which is, I have gotten a chance to use it. It is quite enjoyable. All it is it's basically a log guillotine with hydraulics. So you put the log down at the base, and then the blade is at a high point, and it's brought down, but it's not using gravity to chop the wood. It's using the hydraulic system attached to the axe to split the wood in half. So if you've ever seen those videos of hydraulic presses smashing things, it's like that, but imagine an axe instead of just a base or a flat piece of thing. So it uses a hydraulic system to chop the wood in half, and it's very satisfying to watch and to do, and to see that pile just grow. And then they take all of the wood out of the pile that is split, and they stack it. And we usually have enough wood for more than a year, because we actually don't use all of the wood that we end up splitting in that year, more often than not. And so after they get done with the day's activities, they'll start a fire, they'll hang out as guys drinking, and one of the gentlemen up there will smoke something. So one of the gentlemen up there, I think he makes a smoked bologna on the Fridays that they're there, and then the rest of the weekend, I think there's chili, there's cookies and cakes. I know my cousin made a cake. My dad told my boyfriend, don't you dare bring anything food-wise. Don't you dare bring anything booze-wise. We have everything covered. Everything is good to go. So a boyfriendo just had to bring his happy ass up there. I actually packed him a suitcase. I was so excited for him because this is like his time to bond with the rest of the men in my family. And I don't know, without me, I'm not going to be there to handhold. So it's all on him. And, well, no pressure, but I think he's going to do great. I think it's going to be fantastic. Daniel Follman has asked, do you all have a girls' event? We've been talking about doing something for spring. But typically, during Lumberjack weekend, the girls end up, more often than not, going to see a movie. And, well, it's been about 4 years since I did anything with anyone else. But we ended up seeing a movie, me, my aunt, and my grandmother, and that was about it. The rest of the day I spent, doing everything that I talked about in the beginning of this stream, which was cleaning and production shenanigans. I took a shower too, because I was full of nasty from the day's events. But I got a lot done, and I'm very proud of that. But typically, like I said, in the past, during Lumberjack weekend, they would, in order to make me cooperate with the lack of inclusion, they take me to get my nails done or some other exciting female event thing. We've done movies. We've done sleepovers. And it was just me, my aunt, my cousin, and my grandmother, because we were the 4 ladies that were left behind when all the men went up to Wisconsin, which is fine. But like I said, we are talking about doing something this year because we have a lot more females this year. We're all talking about going up to the cabin in the woods. And okay, so when I say cabin in the woods, what I really mean is there's the main chalet, then there's the giant garage. There's a small single person sleeping cabin that's all you do in there. It's like a sleeping cabin with a mattress in it called the A-frame. And then across the street is, I guess you would call it another cabin. Next door is another cabin. Down the trail is another cabin. Next door on the other side is another cabin. But 2 of those cabins don't belong to my family. They belong to friends of the family who are basically like family. And then the campground next door to the cabin across the street. It's gotten to the point where the family has kind of expanded because there are so many of us. Like I said, there are 15 guys up there right now, and that's half of the party. 15 times 2 is obviously 30. So there's 30 members of the family, and you can't shove them all into one cabin. Even if you have a finished basement with couches. We used to be able to fit 15 people in the loft, but that was when we were all small and midget-sized. Now I'm the only midget in the family. But so because everyone's expanding, we had to expand the property size. So we're getting to a point where we're about to own an entire street, my family, of properties. It's kind of, it's kind of like oh god, what is a good like terminology to use with this? It's like we're in a cult almost. not in a bad way. It's just the entire family has decided that this is where we want to settle half of the summer. And so we've bought properties. Do I have any pictures? That's a good question. I guess I could look and see if I can find any. I don't really keep a lot of pictures. You know what? There is one picture that I could totally do. Compound. Thank you, Daniel Follman. It's basically like a compound, except with a street that goes down the middle. And we own properties on we. By we, I mean my grandmother owns a property. My aunt and uncle own a property. My second cousin owns a property. The two family friends own their properties. A boyfriendo and I have talked about at some point in the future buying one of the properties if they happen to go up for sale, like in the vicinity. And my cousin obviously has too. We've also talked about expanding the main compound, which was built in 1974 by my grandfather. So it's an ever-expanding prospect for the family. And it's quite nice. I don't know, that we're that close, that we like each other that much, that we feel the need to spend our vacations separately but together. Okay, all right. There's one picture that I did remember someone took that I would not mind sharing with everybody. Let me see if I can. I'm gonna send it to myself. How about it? And then I will share it with the rest of you guys. But so basically this is where I grew up. It's where I spent most of my weekends hanging out. It's where my dad used to take us. It's where I learned how to ski, where to snowboard. It's where I learned how to jet ski and drive a boat. And it's where I learned how to wake surf and wakeboard and swim. And it's where I grew up. It's where my family maintained that family relationship. It's why we're so close. And it's probably part of the reason why my dad was so successful in raising myself and my brother. Because he had a lot of help from the rest of the family. And he didn't have to worry about who he was, keeping his kids with. Because he had family all of the time to enjoy it with. All right, let me get the picture. No, that's the wrong email account. Let me just download this. Okay. There we go. Okay, I got the picture. Let me see if I can full screen this bad boy. Okay. Here's a picture my dad sent me last weekend when he went up there with his girlfriend. This is not from our pier because, like I said, we took the piers out. This is from a pier down the way at a restaurant. Like, it's the only restaurant within walking distance of where it is that we hang out. But this is the picture as they're just arriving at sunset. And holy crap, is it not beautiful, gorgeous. We call the compound, I guess, it's either up north or it's the chalet. Is boyfriend outdoorsy? Will he fit in? I think relatively simply he will. He did, for a time, spend a great deal of time on his brother's ranch also. I'm going to leave this picture up here for a sec, and then I'm going to go grab a beer, so I'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen, because I am feeling the need. Ow. I feel the need for booze. Fresh booze, that is. Because while I'm still not done with this beer, I would like a refresher for when I'm ready for another beer. Anyway, so yeah, that is my little slice of paradise, or a view of my slice of paradise. That is the lake that I grew up on. That is a lot of memories there. I remember one year, or one summer day, my father, my cousin, my uncle, and myself were taking the jet skis out for a ride. And this was a day where you were risking it because there was supposed to be a storm coming in. And there was. We definitely knew that there was. And this is not the only time that this has happened. But there was a storm coming in. But we wanted to get like one more moment out on the lake. Or we were coming back from somewhere. I can't remember exactly. But we got caught in the downpour. And there's something that happens right before, or like, there's this whole series of events that leads up to an actual downpour. The first thing is it starts to get windier. It starts to get really windy. And then you see the clouds roll in. Or no, you see the clouds initially. And then it starts to get super windy. And the clouds start to roll in even further. And they start encroaching. And then they get so pregnant with water that they start to fall. But they don't fall on you yet. It actually takes a little bit of time for the water to get to you, but you can actually see where the rainfall starts on the lake and where it starts to mist across the lake. And then you can see it make its way over to you as the clouds are slowly encroaching on where it is you're standing. And usually we like to go to the pier to watch an incoming storm because it is probably one of the best sights you will ever see. Even if it's worrisome that there's going to be lightning, it's still worth the sight. But anyway, so it's one of those days where you know it's going to rain. It's starting to get windy. All the signs are there. You can tell that it's about to rain. But what the fuck? My dad and my uncle decide we're gonna hang out on the water just a little bit longer. We're gonna test fate a little bit. We ended up getting caught in a downpour. And so we make our way over to where there's a bridge just before there's a lagoon. And we hole up underneath this bridge in our bathing suits, in some life jackets, and on these jet skis. And we're just sitting there while it is pouring down everywhere around us. And I don't know why I remember this part, but I remember it vividly. My cousin, he's got to pee, but he doesn't want to get into the lake because this is a high traffic area normally, and so there's a lot of like gasoline and oil in this section, and you don't want to disturb any of it. So he's like, I gotta pee, Dad. So his dad goes, by all means, do so off the side. So he drops a little bit of trow and, goes to the bathroom right underneath this bridge while we are holding our boats just enough distance away from the side of the bridge so we don't hit anything, but close enough that we don't drift away. But yeah. It's probably one of my favorite memories is, or not one of, but my more fond memories is getting trapped in storms. Because you are a really tempting fate right there. You don't want to get caught on the water during storm time because you do run the risk of getting struck by lightning. But at the same time, if it's not thundering out, if there's no lightning, you're already in the water. It doesn't really matter. But yeah, this was one of those times when it was just rain. Rainwater on that large of a scale must sound amazing. Oh yeah, we get some downpours up north. It is bliss. It's a great time. I can tell you more stories actually. So winter's coming up, right? And the lake tends to freeze over. At least it has in distant memories of my past, but more recently not so much. But it freezes over and then there's a nice thick coating of snow over top, and everyone has a snowmobile who has a place on this lake. So you can take your snowmobile out on the lake. In addition to people driving their trucks out into the middle of the lake while it's frozen solid, and ice fishing too. But they have annual races on this lake because it's big enough that you can. So they have this big track around. But when there's not a track, excuse me, when there's not a track, when there's not races, what my family likes to do is, at least when I was younger, this has become less of the case as I've gotten older, but not because I'm old, because there's less snow. Here's a reason why you can only do this with enough snow. So what we do, or what we used to do, so my dad used to tie our sleds, so our snow sleds, which had front handles and back handles, to the back of the snowmobile with rope. And then he would corral us, or he would tow us in a train around the lake. And not at slow speeds either. He would take turns at probably really high speeds to the point where we'd fall off or we'd get whipped off. And if you had the misfortune of being in the middle of the train, sometimes you'd get run over by the person behind you. But yeah, now you know why it is that it's important to have snow for this activities, because if you do end up falling off, you don't want to skid around on ice. There was one year that my dad was doing this, that he was towing myself, my brother, my cousin, my other cousin, and my other cousin, because there were 5 of us in the immediate family, in the immediate grandchildren list. And my brother and my cousin were at the midway of the train, and we had stopped at this point. I don't remember the reason why we had stopped, but it turned out that the ice was breaking underneath my brother and my cousin. And it fell through at that point, exactly where it was that they were sitting on top of the ice. And my brother, it wasn't enough ice that they just went immediately. It was slow enough that my cousin could scamper out, but my brother, who was younger at the time, much younger, didn't realize what was going on, so he didn't take that opportunity, that warning, to get the fuck out of Dodge. So he ended up getting a little bit moist before someone yanked him out of the hole in the ice. But this was a number of years ago, and he's fine now, and so is my other cousin. They're fantastic, but that's another memory that I have. Dangerous? Yes. A good time? Definitely, though. Weebo, skipping like a stone across the frozen lake. Yeah. Yeah. My dad did not shy away from giving us every life experience that he could possibly think of. He was a man of teachable moments and more teachable moments and good times. I remember as a kid, when I was young enough and small enough that he could throw me without much effort, getting chucked out of the water by my dad across the lake and back into the water. I loved that. So did every cousin. So did my brother. The next 6 minutes, thank you for the donation. Everyone give this awesome Weebo a hand, for she has popped her peanuts cherry with a Charlie Brown Thanksgiving, and it's the Great Pumpkin Charlie Brown. She is now a woman. Well, seriously though, sub to this girl and pick up some tasty merch. High fives. Yes, I am no longer a noob. I have seen my first ever Charlie Brown episode, and it was the Thanksgiving episode, and then we watched The Great Pumpkin. And then I went night-night. Looks like Polly isn't getting a Streamlabs tonight. Nope, I guess not. We're just reminiscing about my past and enjoying all of the fun little moments. Let's see what other stories I got. Oh, gosh. Yeah, this was my childhood. This was a good time. Oh, I could tell everyone about the multiple of times, how my dad taught me how to ski. So my dad used to have a boat. I think he still has it, but he doesn't take it out anymore because it's old and it's probably not floatable anymore. It's probably got not a lot of buoyancy at this point. I know for a fact that he took all the seats out, but he would attach this system. He would rig the system in the boat where he'd have this gigantic metal pipe running across the stern is the back. Okay, now I'm gonna piss. Stern is. Okay, no, I don't want that kind of stern. The rearmost part of the ship or boat. Yes, okay, so we would have a middle pipe bolted into the side of the boat on one side, and then it would extend across over the stern on the other side. And you would... Oh, Polly's here. Hi, Polly. Weebo's ID.
Id.
Oh, haha, funny. You came just in time. I'm about to tell a story of how I learned how to water ski.
No, it's just. Don't let me stop you.
You okay there? You got the Rona?
I don't have the Rona, but I'm pretty damn sick.
Well, go to bed.
No, I've done that. I'm here now.
Go back to bed. Young man. No, seriously, you okay?
Well, I'm pretty sick, but I'm here. I'm just, don't let me interrupt the water skiing story you were saying.
All right. So, like I said, my dad rigged a pole across the stern of the boat, and he would bolt it into the side of the boat on one side, and it would overextend on the other side of the boat. That's where we're at right now. And so he would strap a pair of skis onto the legs of whatever poor, unlucky child was in reach. Sometimes that was me. And he would tie a part of a rope to the front of the skis where he had an attachment that connected the two skis so that they wouldn't like V outwards like this or like smash together, or well, they would smash together, but it's easier to maintain them when they're smashing together than when they're going out like this. You get the splits effect. So we tie the connection, and then he'd tie to the connection to the pole. And then on the other side of the pole, where the skier was holding on, they would hold on to the ski rope, which was wrapped very tightly around the pole. And then what he'd do is he'd kerplunk the child right there and let them get a feel for what it felt like to actually get up on the water. But he would hold on to the back of our life jackets and the front of the skis where they were connected and hang off the side of the boat while my aunt would drive for him. And that was how I learned how to water ski initially. And then when you got to a certain age, when you were mature enough, he would throw you at the back of the boat and then just go, all right, now full speed. For realsies this time. And that was how he would transition us. Just chuck you out of the boat and go, all right, let's go. Remember all that I taught you. And we could usually get the hang of it pretty quickly out the back of the boat because we'd had so much experience off the side of the boat. But I don't know if that's how everyone else learns how to ski. I just know that that's how I learned how to ski as a kid. It's actually quite cute. I wonder if I have any pictures of that. Polly, are you not fascinated with my childhood?
I am. I'm waiting with bated breath for the next part, possibly pictures.
I don't know if I have any pictures. Let me ask my aunt if she has any pictures of me learning how to ski. Might you have any pictures of me learning to ski off the side of the boat? Because if anyone has pictures, it would be her. This was before we had iPhones and before I even had a portable device for which to indulge my shenanigans with. But she would have any pictures if there are any pictures. And everyone loves a baby Weebo picture.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm adorable. Actually, I was going through some of my my baby pictures recently, and I have a few in the back over there. I could bust them out if you wanted to make fun of me, Polly.
Pictures that you have? Sorry, well, I was reading chat.
Baby pictures.
Oh, baby pictures.
Yeah.
What? If you're adorable, why would anyone be
You okay there?
be making fun of you?
I don't know, because that's what my audience does. They make fun of me.
Wow. Yeah. The internet.
The internet. Is it? That's it? Just the internet?
Doesn't that explain?
No, Polly, you need to go into greater detail. Gosh darn diddly.
No, I don't really think I do.
Aren't you a plethora of words just on principle?
No.
That's not how it goes. All right. So
on a different but unrelated topic.
Different but unrelated.
Yeah.
There we go.
Well, I had asked last week or the week before that. I don't know. I'm on cold meds. I'd asked for Christmas movies that were not the normal ones that anyone would expect, something more obscure. You had mentioned Barbie and the Nutcracker.
I had.
Right. So I did go locate it.
Did you watch it?
Well, not yet, because I'm collecting for the season. You know what I mean?
Isn't the season November 1st all the way up until December 25th?
No.
6th? No. No. You sure?
Thanksgiving.
We have to wait for Thanksgiving first?
That's the hard line.
But okay, I don't have any Thanksgiving decorations. Can't I just skip that holiday and go straight to Christmas? Is that not acceptable?
You can put up Christmas decorations anytime. I'm not one of those people that's going to. I'm your id. I'm not going to tell you not to do things. That's that stuffed shirt super ego of yours that tries to get in the way of the fun.
That's fair.
You've taken psychology, you know?
Yeah.
Ego, super ego, and id.
Yeah, but there's not a lot of credence given to that theory, I thought.
Well,
am I wrong?
There is.
Here there is?
Mm-hmm.
In Weebo land? We ascribe to Freudian shenanigans. That's Freud, right?
Yes. Very much.
We ascribe to Freudian theory of doing stuff, which means that we absolutely believe that little girls want to have fun times with their fathers and little boys want to have fun times with their mothers. Ugh.
Jesus Christ, no, that's not what I was getting at, but all right. Oedipus and Electra? No, let's leave that alone.
No, we don't believe in those complexes here? Okay.
Well,
not.
Yeah. What were we talking about? Yeah, we were talking about
Christmas movies. We were talking about Barbie and the Nutcracker.
Animated Christmas special. You leave incest out of this. Jesus. I'm the id. You're supposed to keep this straightforward.
This stream was wholesome before you got here. I was talking about Weebo Past.
Quit stepping in my background, my backyard. I'm the id. You play it on the straight and narrow. I'm supposed to be the one that's impassioned and not bound by the rules of society and such. That's what the id does. So anyway.
So Barbie and the Nutcracker.
Yeah, apparently I'm like one of the few people that hasn't seen this thing or heard of it. Yeah, because so I went and obtained a copy, and it's up on YouTube, just in like 5-minute segments, so they can maximize the ad revenue from it.
Naturally.
Right. It wasn't what I was expecting. I watched like the first 5-minute segment just to get a sense of what this thing was. Like it was, I don't know, Barbie in the Nutcracker. I figured it was going to be
Barbie and the Nutcracker.
Barbie and the Nutcracker, correct? Okay, right. I figured it was going to be, I don't know, like Barbie as a character, and like Ken would be playing the Nutcracker, and they'd be dancing the Nutcracker suite and stuff. I didn't think it was going to be the character of Barbie in like Victorian England.
Yeah, that's how all the Barbie movies are. Is that they take on the personification of whatever story it is that they're adapting for this property. It's basically like a stylistic way of producing stories. It's kind of like how Disney makes fairy tale movies.
No, I hear you. And like I kind of caught on real quick. I'm like, oh shit, her name isn't even Barbie. It's just Barbie. Like the character just thrown into these things, like she's acting in a stage play. And I'm like, oh, I see, I get it. Yeah.
I'm sorry, was that not universal knowledge? I thought that was, but
I'm a guy.
And
well, if you asked me about like G.I. Joe or what was going on with things of substance, I'd be able to tell you. But like
things of substance, you take that back. Barbie is a substantive experience all around. Like I'm gonna make you watch Barbie, Princess and the Pauper at some point.
Oh, there's Princess and the Pauper.
Oh yeah.
Well,
it's another one of my favorites.
So I watched this and I was like, because I'm putting together, we're going to do, Polly's Christmas time cinema. Where we're going to watch a bunch of things throughout the holiday season. And, excuse me, last year, we watched Jingle All the Way and a number of old Looney Tunes when they were still called Merry Melodies from back in the day, the black and white ones that were Christmas. Let me see what else. Oh, Santa Claus we watched again. The Tim Allen one.
Tim Allen.
Oh, we watched Patrick Stewart's A Christmas Carol, which was really good.
Naturally.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. So anyway, you get the idea. To not drag it out, you get the idea. We watched a bunch of stuff. So and obscure stuff is fun. So it's like Barbie and the Nutcracker. If it's even if it's bad, it's good to riff. Like I brought it up to Far, and I'm like, "Have you ever heard of this?" And she was like, "Well, you managed to, uncover something from my childhood. I had a VHS tape of that and watched it over and over again." So and then Eve, Chaos Eve, pops in a voice chat, and I said, "Eve, have you ever seen this Barbie and the Nutcracker?" And she goes, "I will neither confirm nor deny that."
oh my gosh! All right.
It's turning out that I and Ken N in chat are the only ones who have never seen it.
It's a good movie. I don't know why the Barbie movies get such a, I don't know, short end of the stick. They're not, okay, so the more recent iterations are not as enjoyable as the previous ones, but at their heart, the only reason that you wouldn't want to watch it is because you're not into that aesthetic, I guess. I don't know. Because it's just stories. I think they have a Christmas Carol version of Barbie too. They have Barbie 12 Dancing Princesses, Barbie Swan Lake. Like I have a box set of 10 Barbie movies in the back there. They just take, like Disney, they take classic stories that people are maybe vaguely familiar with, or fairy tales or whatever. Like they had Barbie and Rapunzel too, which is another favorite of mine. And they adapt them into this Barbie aesthetic. I don't know why Barbie herself is alienating to a whole half of a demographic. Except for, it's the whole fashion marketing scheme.
Well, is there like Barbie fights the Mujahideen in Afghanistan? Is like that one?
I don't think so.
No.
I don't know. They refrain from the whole political aspect of things like completely.
Well, that's not political. Not. Okay, maybe.
Okay. Do each of these Barbie movies have toy tie-ins? Of course. It wouldn't be a Barbie movie without some sort of toy tie-in. What do you fucking think? The whole concept of Barbie was invented to sell toys, not to make movies. That's just a bonus. The whole idea behind Barbie is to sell Barbie toys, Barbies. The Afghans might disagree, says Ken. Yeah, Polly, they might disagree with you on that front. But the movies aren't always half bad. Like Princess and the Pauper has a bomb-ass soundtrack.
Are all of them royalty-free public domain things that they do?
No, I don't think any of them are at this point. I think they just don't like the movies are not so much of a sticking point with them as they are with Disney, that they will absolutely, take down your channel if they even find a modicum of the property on the internet without their permission. I don't think that they care that much about it like Disney does about their properties. And that's because the big point of Barbie is to sell all of the Barbie toys. I remember the Kelly doll Sugar Plum Fairies well. I had Barbies as a kid, and they were not as... I was not as enthusiastic about the actual toys as I was about the actual movies. So I've seen the movies like 8 million times in some cases. Have a whole bunch on DVD. The Barbies ended up getting fed to my Doberman Pinscher Max. And nice. I cut the hair off of a lot of them too. Because I was that person. And I think I decapitated a few of my Barbies as well.
Thank you to the next 6 minutes.
What did he say?
For the donation, he says, excuse me, figures. I threaten not to give Polly a Streamlabs, and then Polly magically appears. It is the way of the otter. Magical and whatnot. Help this Help this awesome otter feel better by subbing to his channel for comic book curation and noir bar. Feel better, my friend. Smiley face. Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Assassins of the Grey says, if all you have to say about a film is it has a really good soundtrack, you have a problem. No. It's not all that's good about the film itself that I have to say about the film itself. But like the soundtrack is bomb ass. I could sing those songs all the live long day, especially the Evil Villains soundtrack song. Like, good time was had. They can be funny, they can be sweet, they can be emotive. Like there's no shortage of good things to talk about with Barbie. They're not shoddily done. At least the ones that I like are not shoddily done. They are decent movies.
Shoddily.
They are decent movies. I have a lot of nostalgia with them. I could watch them again and again. They have great rewatchability, and they're entertaining too. Again, this is with my generation of Barbie movies that I've seen. I have yet to see some of the more recent iterations of Barbie. But, like, the soundtrack is important, though. Let's not discount the importance of a decent soundtrack. Okay, soundtrack can either make or break a movie. It can be the difference between an iconic film and one that just fades into a relative obscurity. Polly, do you agree?
Yes. Absolutely.
Like there are several iconic soundtracks out there that you only need to play a few notes, like Jaws, dun, iconic. Jurassic Park, dun, like a few notes, and you know exactly what it is that you're watching. And they make that entire movie a little bit more. They get it that oomph. Because imagine if you were just watching a movie without a music backtrack. I mean, it's still probably going to be decent. But, I don't know, it makes you feel more of what it is you're supposed to feel in that scene. It gives you more emotive push. Because music traditionally is intended to pair with the emotion that is in the scene that you're watching, right? So I, for one, am a big fan of a decent soundtrack.
So speaking of Christmas.
Yeah, sorry. So we were talking about Christmas. And
yeah.
got onto the Barbie conversation.
I finished my Christmas Avatar late last night, actually early this morning, but it was late last night for me. You want a sneak peek?
Yes.
You don't have to type out an answer. You can just tell me.
Yes, I want a sneak peek. I said yes.
Oh, I didn't even hear you. I was coughing.
Don't die, Polly. However will I survive?
Okay. Hold on. Share screen. No, that's not share screen.
That's not. Are you having trouble there? Does this thing get gotten to your brain?
Yeah. There we go.
Aww.
Look how adorable.
He's so cute.
I know, right?
Although I will say this, the for whatever reason, the hat doesn't jive well with the rest of the ensemble.
Quiet, you.
Also, your shadow looks a little off for the
Whose shadow?
The scarf shadow. So, like, right underneath. So you know how the scarf overlaps. I feel like the shadow's not quite right on the one half of the scarf, because the light is supposed to be coming from the left side above, right? So wouldn't that lighten up the left side of the scarf?
You and Inquisitor would get along wonderfully.
Am I ruining your experience here?
No, if you were to you and Inquisitor, I don't know what happened in your guys' childhood or your backgrounds or what your parents did to you. I don't know, but at some point you came across the misapprehension that when being shown something, it was in fact a challenge. And the challenge that is being given to you, that much like Jeopardy, you know, you have to you're on a timer and you got to buzz in before anybody else with and the challenge, the nature of the challenge is this: within a matter of seconds before anyone else, you have to be able to buzz in and point out what the major flaw in the piece of art or writing or whatever it is that you have seen is. Because you show like an image or a piece of writing or whatever it is to Quiz, and he's like, "Okay, I already see something is wrong," as if that was the challenge. It was actually
spot the flaw.
You know?
Instead of spot the difference.
Yeah. So the game is spot the flaw. Yeah.
Okay. You're not wrong, but also I'm not wrong either. So we're both not wrong.
Would you like me to change the shadows on the two scarf flaps? Would that make you feel better?
I would like a more consistent shadow, Polly. Please. Pretty please. Give that to me. Do this one thing for me.
And that hat is not unique to that otter. That's why that hat was originally on top of the Polydub disc. I just stole it from there.
Yeah, I noticed.
No, you didn't.
The hat doesn't jive with the rest of the animation.
Oh, is that what you noticed?
Yeah. It contrasts ever so slightly in style.
Well, see,
sorry, I noticed that too. I'm sorry for pointing it out.
No, that's cool.
All
right,
nice.
let's check out your Christmas avatar. Oh, I didn't think you had one.
Wait, hang on. You want me? In order to get my Christmas avatar out, I gotta get my Santa Claus hat out, boy.
You have a Santa hat, right?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, nice.
Over there in the closet, in storage with the rest of my hats. I have a hat for every occasion, young man. I have 2 Christmas hats actually. I can't wait to bust them out.
Yeah, Dan Follman says do an avatar of a Tiny Tim Otter. Maybe I should give him like a sad little crutch in one hand, and then he can be like Tiny Tim Santa Otter.
Do it.
He needs a prop.
I'd appreciate that so much. So eggnog is going on my Christmas shopping list. Or, well, not Christmas, but grocery shopping list for this week. And I'm going to figure out how to make the bombest ass drink ever. Bombest. Yep. Ass hat would be most appropriate. I don't have an ass hat. I only have Christmas hats and other such hats, but I don't have an ass hat. Now that's the one thing that I probably want. Yeah, I do want an ass hat. Just for the fun of it. I think
so you want a hat that's actually like 2 big butt cheeks?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I want 1 butt cheek, 2 butt cheek. And I want it to be obnoxiously large, and I want it like so that I look like a mushroom. Kind of. So I resemble a very morphed toad. Because that's how I'm imagining this looking on me. I would also like an actual toad hat. We can make this happen. I'd be much appreciative. Weebo P.O. box opening this Thanksgiving. Okay, now that I put a deadline on it, I should probably get that done. USPS or UPS still has not gotten back to me, and I emailed them like a month ago asking questions about their P.O. box shenanigans. Nope. Because, I'm not going to get a P.O. box right next door or in the same town that I live. Never have, never will. Just for security reasons. I'll get it somewhere where it's out of my way, maybe, or just, somewhere where it has no relation to me so that no one can track me down that easily. But I'll have a P.O. box and I'll have to drive to it. But I need to find the right location. It's got to be the right price. And I want to know if it's better to go the UPS route rather than the USPS route. Because I've done USPS, and it's a pain in the ass because they don't have a very good online automation system for renewal. That pissed me off because I ended up losing my P.O. box halfway through when I originally bought it or grabbed it. It was just such an inconvenience. I'd like a more convenient option, but like I said, UPS hasn't gotten back to me yet, so I'm salty about it. Polly, have you ever thought about getting a P.O. box?
No.
You never thought about it?
No, I have, but I never got around to it. It was not through avoidance, just,
Couldn't be bothered.
Yeah.
It's actually worth it. I like having a P.O. box, giving people the option to send me actual things instead of money in the mail. I have a viewer, Cavalier, who sends me candy annually. And that's always a fun time because I make it last the entire year for the most part. Because I don't believe that candy can go bad. It just gets harder. But that's okay because it becomes a challenge, not a health detriment. Anywho, or you get the every once in a while inappropriate gift from a viewer, like a dildo in the mail. Why did you show this to me?
This is a screen freeze from the Pokemon porn, Strokemon.
I'm sorry, there is a Pokemon porn, and this existed in it?
That's what amazes me. This looks so nightmarish, like deliberately Halloween-esque, like they wanted to scare people. But yeah, this is from Strokemon.
I'm getting distinctive Grinch vibes. Anyone else? This kind of reminds me of Jim Carrey's The Grinch, but also, who's getting off to this? Like not just the person watching this to fulfill themselves in some sexual degenerate way, but the person who is having sex with this thing.
Mm-hmm.
How?
Look at it. It looks so terrible. Like, look at like the ears. Like they're not even in like put on properly. Like one's all sagging. One's all.
One looks blurry and out of focus. Is
the
that
cracked,
like,
the cracked lips with the terrible black lipstick and the what's going on with the eyes? Like
they went all out to like. Okay, I'm afraid to ask, but like, does this extend to the nether regions as well, or did they stop?
Oh, it's full body. Yeah.
So okay, so logistically speaking, I have a question.
I've never seen it, so I'm not going to be able to answer.
Okay, someone who has seen it, I need an answer. Does the full body makeup last the whole time, the whole run through?
I don't know. Maybe they're just a fluffer. Like they just it's all hands and mouth. I don't know.
Why do you have this picture? Also, like, what succession of steps had to occur in order for this to end up on your hard drive? I find myself asking that question a lot with you, actually. You know,
do you actually want to know?
Yeah, like
it's not a terribly interesting answer. I was watching The Cinema Snob, Brad Jones. I don't know if you know who that is or
no
his content. He was one of the original Channel Awesome, that guy with the glasses creators. He's one of the refugees from there. He's actually really funny. Brad Jones and has this series called The Cinema Snob. It's really funny. He's actually like the standout guy, in my opinion, from that group. That one of the few guys that didn't go crazy. Now it's like a group of people that all went nuts and, you know, went into this downward spiral of like attacking each other and eating each other, whatever. Brad Jones is one of the few guys who just didn't do that. He just
so kind of like the YouTube skeptic sphere.
Yeah, right. Like there's a few people that managed to survive from that, rise above, adapt, and overcome. Yeah. Brad Jones is one of those people. He's still putting out funny content and stuff. And it was on a completely separate movie. I forget what it was that he was reviewing, but he used it as a reference. He goes, I mean, it's not as bad as, say, the porn parody for Pokemon Strokemon. And this image flashed on the screen. And I went, oh, my God. I got to get a screen freeze of that. Jesus Christ.
How do you even, like, do they sell copies of this at your local?
Yeah, like, I mean, I'm sure it's available out there somewhere, but I'm not into the poker men, so I didn't go looking.
I don't know what's worse, the animated versions of cartoon porn or the live action versions of cartoon porn. Truly, honestly, I'm at a loss for what's worse.
Yeah. And Brad Jones being Brad Jones, he does reviews of porn.
Mm-hmm.
But what makes them funny is that, like, obviously he's not reviewing the actual sex act scenes because he can't show them, and what's to review anyway? It's the storylines and stuff that
there is a great deal to review.
Well, there you go. There's our path into Pornhub. We'll do review of hardcore scenes.
No, I only watch porn with people I'm in the scene with. No, I'm kidding. I don't find the need to watch porn anymore.
Anymore?
Nope. Not since I moved in with El Boyfriendo. It doesn't seem necessary. Okay, moving on from this topic of conversation. Holly, any other distracting images that I'm going to question the originality of?
The origin?
The origin, not the originality. Come on, you always have the best images.
Well, yeah, we could just go on a trip backwards through my meme folder because there's all sorts of difficult to explain items in here.
I'm ready. I have a question for you.
Uh-huh.
And it kind of spawns from this existence of torturous images that you have on your hard drive that I question the origin of. Not so much the memes themselves, but like what we just saw. Not Eve, but the Pokemon thing. Since you have these disturbing images, do you also find, I don't know, some sort of weird enjoyment out of watching those pimple popper videos too?
No.
No, you're not that kind of a person?
No.
Okay.
Never watched one. Have no interest in it. Don't get it.
Fair. It's not for everybody. It can be gross. It can be disgusting. But I quite enjoy them, actually.
Gross. So this is... Okay, why?
I don't know. You know, like those satisfying compilation videos where something turns from something into something else and you're noticing you're watching the change occur in front of your eyes. I think I like it for the same reason. Because I'm watching someone like, oh, ew. I'm watching someone do that, change something into something else, but with someone else's body, I guess. And I find it fascinating. Like, I can take away the... What the fuck? Nunchucks.
I love it. Still funny.
It's pretty funny. I like watching it because it is similar to it. The feeling I get is similar to those oddly satisfying compilations, or watching someone renovate an apartment, or like a rusty piece of what the fuck ever. I like it for that aspect, not because I like to see blood, guts, and gore and nastiness, but because I'm watching something get done in real time, the process by which things happen, and I find it intriguing. Which is how I know I could have totally been an Emmy had I decided to be an Emmy. This is
19. That's 19-year-old Scarlett Johansson.
I'm big in the dress. I like that color, and I'm not usually a big fan of yellow.
I mean, really? She was dating a bunch of Hollywood producers at 19 years old? Why? How did that happen?
Yeah, how did that happen? I wonder. The world wants to know.
Yeah.
I do like that dress, though. So, okay, so you don't watch the pimple popper videos, but do you watch...
No.
I know that, but do you watch the do you watch like overly, not overly, but like those compilation videos of things getting done?
Things getting done.
Things getting done. Like woodworking videos.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I do. Yep.
Yeah, or like someone painting something.
Yeah.
Etc. etc. Also,
I was watching Bob Ross videos the other day just to for some relaxation because God, I needed it. I was having a bad day.
Do you think she gets like spray tanned or?
Yes, both. I would imagine
spray tanned or like sun, or not sun, but like UV tanned or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks pretty natural. You wouldn't even know if you didn't know. But those were her during the victorious days.
It's like Italian girl, you look just fine with alabaster skin. As a matter of fact, I would argue better. You kind of look, kind of trashy on the right, in my opinion.
Well, is it because of the way she's dressed, or is it because of her skin color? Because
dressed, I would say.
Yeah, same. It's a tiny house.
Yeah, it's a Peter Rabbit house.
He's so cute. Well, yeah, go back to Ariana Grande for a sec.
All right, hold on. There you go.
Yeah, all that effort and no boob job.
Yeah.
Fat platypus in the chat gave me that idea of like, is it like around the corner, or are we just not interested?
I guess you could say that like too many people would have noticed, but then again, I mean, fuck.
Changing your entire race seems a little bit.
Well, her entire thing is that she didn't like when you hear the name Ariana Grande. Everyone assumed that she was Latina, and it's like no, she's Italian. Like Ariana Grande is it's an Italian name, and she's an Italian girl, and I don't. So I don't know. I don't know whatever the fuck. You got me. I don't know. It's like if you ever look at the K-pop stars, they're all alabaster skin. What is that? I mean, it's deliberate. It's not accidental.
I've never seen a K-pop star in my entire life. I actively avoid that aspect of the internet.
Do
you? Yeah. It got to a point where in every single blow-up tweet, there was a barrage of K-pop videos with like disconnected tweets and it. What the fuck? What the fuck, Polly? What the fuck? What the fuck?
Go on, that's just funny.
Yeah. Okay.
Go on. You were saying barrage.
A barrage of just K-pop videos. You know what I'm talking about, right? Have you seen this?
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's annoying because they're just little snippets of videos that are fan-made, that are just entirely intended to annoy people. I guess is the only reason. Annoy people with their fandomness. Like, I don't understand the point of it, actually. I genuinely don't. Can someone explain to me the concept of the fan video spamming? Because I have no idea.
I've never received a spam of anything with K-pop in it.
Well, you don't spend time on Twitter. That's why.
Oh, man. And now I have all the more reason not to. Is that where it happens?
Yeah, that's where it happens. It's generally on Twitter. So what'll happen is there will be a blow-up tweet, like a controversial tweet that happens. And in the replies of that tweet, almost every single time, you will see some sort of commentary from a user with an attached video that has nothing to do with it, but it's just K-pop dancing, or I don't know. In some cases, like when I got in trouble with the black side of Twitter over my opinions on Teen Titans, specifically regarding Anna Diop and the hypocrisy of blackwashing. I got a lot of Anna Diop fan spam. So because that's what it is, the fan spam. It's fan spam. And I don't understand the point of it. And I extra don't understand the point of it when the tweet itself has absolutely nothing to do with K-pop. This Polly!
What?
I only date black girls because I hate meeting fathers. Really?
Really?
Really? Oof. Apparently, I describe things in the vaguest of ways.
Yeah, no kidding. I still love this one. I think this one's so old, and I think it's so funny.
Yeah, it was nice to have a channel while it lasted, I guess. Thanks, Polly.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't my meme.
Uh-huh.
Fucking Far sent it to me. Forced it on me. I know.
Pickle me, Elmo?
Yeah. It's Tickle Me Elmo, but he's being pickled, thus Pickle Me Elmo.
I don't get either of those things. Pickle, tickle. Why are we tickling Elmo?
No, okay.
Really
you don't know what a Tickle Me Elmo. Okay, so it's a little Elmo doll from Sesame Street, right? A little plushie. Okay, and if you touch him, he like he's got this little mechanic inside of him that he shakes, and it looks like he's laughing, and then this audio track starts playing of him going, and so like it looks hilarious. Like it looks like you're tickling him, and he's laughing and shaking. And it was a really popular toy a million years ago. And so they've taken that and as a bad pun for the cynical internet, they crammed one of those plushies inside of a jar, filled it with vinegar, and labeled it Pickle Me Elmo.
Okay. Yeah, no, this isn't a meme that I would get. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. Why?
It's Captain America with an Asian baby instead of a shield.
Why?
I don't know.
I don't get it. Polly, explain.
I have no explanation to offer you.
Polly, explain. Polly, why?
Well, okay, hold on. Look, it's a fat squirrel. That's a chunky boy.
He is a chunky boy. I saw a cat earlier today that was just about that chunk size.
I think he's hilarious. He's ready for the winter, this guy.
He's ready. He's about ready to go into hibernation.
Look at, I mean, he's sitting on top of all the seed shells. You know, yeah, he's been busy, man. He's ready.
I'm gonna sneeze. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm not gonna sneeze. I thought I was gonna sneeze, Polly.
Get some dignity, Jamie Foxx. Your hair looks ridiculous.
No, your hair looks ridiculous.
No, it looks fine.
Well,
you know why?
Polly, compare your life to JB.
My life? I don't have a hairline like that guy still trying to pretend that my hairline starts, good 2 inches lower.
Well, where do you think it does start?
Little nightmare there for you.
Where do they even find these? Like, who comes up with this stuff?
Stop asking questions. It only makes it worse.
No, Polly, I need to ask these questions because I'm the only one asking these questions. How do you even get your mustache like that? Ew, I don't like it. Take it away.
You don't like that?
I especially don't like the legs that look like a tongue. Of course, snake tongue. I especially don't like those because I don't like snakes. So I especially discourage.
Oh, you're one of those people that's like, no snakes?
No snakes. Did you not know that?
No, I didn't.
Not everyone knew that I did not like snakes.
No.
I hate snakes. I am actually, it's like an actual phobia with me. Like, for the longest time, I could not touch pictures of snakes even. It freaked me out so much. That being said, my brother owns a snake now. He owns a python named Joe. Like a ball python, a baby python. And now I no longer have a brother. I'm just kidding. I'll never go over to where it is that he lives. Ever.
Oh, and since Thanksgiving is right around the corner, there's some tofurkey for you.
What?
So it's tofurkey.
What does it look like? A chicken corn dog. A chicken corn dog.
Yeah. It's vegan bread surrounding like soy tofu stuffing, dressing, whatever you want to call it. It's tofurkey, vegan turkey.
But why?
You know why. Come on, you know why.
But why does it have to be in the shape of a turkey?
I've always wondered that myself. Like, don't you guys feel like you're kind of violating something, like in principle?
Yeah, like, I get it. No animals. But is veganism that bad that you have to, like, trick your brain into thinking that you're actually eating the animals in order to enjoy that existence?
You know what kills me the most about this? The old line that it came in two halves that were melded together. See it?
Yeah.
Oh, but wait, there's more. So, vegan beef Wellington.
Are those carrots?
Yeah. See, what kills me is that, like, in and of itself, this doesn't look that bad. It's just that you labeled it beef Wellington. Like, why didn't you label it I don't know, what
vegan Wellington? I don't know.
Vegan. Well, no, it's like a vegetable wrapped breaded, like some kind of vegetable pastry of some sort, right? Like, why did you go vegan beef Wellington? Like, what I'm mostly concerned with is what's in the gravy. Huh?
Yeah, because isn't animal fat used to make gravy?
Oh, animal fat and, giblets and
yeah,
often giblets, I should say. It's just all sorts of animal products can end up in there, but obviously not because it's vegan. So what the fuck's in there?
I'm genuinely curious.
Mm-hmm.
Also, what else is in that beef Wellington or that vegan beef Wellington? I gotta know.
Kangaroo steak in the shape of a kangaroo.
Where's the rest of the kangaroo? Like, why would you waste meat just to cut it into a shape?
What do you mean? I'm sure they ate it. Like, you don't think they killed a whole kangaroo just to get this one steak out of it and then threw the rest in the garbage?
Probably not. But I mean, like, you can't get a full steak, like a full-sized steak of that cut of meat.
I mean, and who knew kangaroos were packing out much fat? I didn't.
I didn't either. Wonder what kangaroo meat tastes like.
Well, you know what bugs me is that I've looked that up, right? And you get the answer you always get.
Looked that up.
Well, I sure did. I also looked up what panda tastes like. Apparently, Teddy Roosevelt's son ate a panda, but people doubt that story. In any case,
Continue.
What was I saying? Oh, you always get the same answer, right? They're like, oh, it tastes like chicken. Yeah, no, it tastes gamey. Oh, well, thanks, genius. That helps.
I don't even know what gamey tastes like. Okay, so that tells me nothing. Is it tough? Is it not tough? Is it juicy? Like, there are other descriptions.
I've heard comparisons to moose, that it's not like deer or elk. It's like it's more like moose in that it's a really, really dark red meat. So it tastes the texture is extremely dense, fibrous. I don't know. That's what I read.
Yeah, I want to taste some exotic meat. Am I allowed to eat kangaroo?
Yeah, of course.
Like, are there a plethora of kangaroos in the world that it's not going to be an issue if I eat one?
That's right.
Okay. Let's make this happen, ladies and gentlemen. I will film myself eating kangaroo for the first time. Kangaroo meat is for feeding to your pets. You can't change my mind, says Bar.
Yeah, she apparently fed kangaroo meat to her cat for a good while. Made him a big strong boy.
Aww. Yeah, no, my cat's on a special diet of Fancy Feast seafood pate because that's the only Fancy Feast that he likes, and he'll shun his dry food if we give it to him too long. That being said, he's also got kidney failure, so.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So, we'll give him whatever he wants, but he's not going to last very much longer. That being said, he's also 16 years old come this Thanksgiving, so. It's okay. My dad actually gave him his birthday when the vet asked him originally when we found him what his birthday was, because like I said, he's a wildcat. We found him in a wild, half mauled to death. I wonder if he would like kangaroo meat if I gave it to him. I mean, like when you're at the end of your life, why not let the person indulge in all the things that they could possibly? Like I never understood that with my grandfather. At the end of his life, they were all like, "Okay, let's cut down on the butter, there, Gomps," or let's cut down on the salt and other things. I'm like, you're taking away this man's joy in life at a time when there are a few things to be enjoying. Like he can't leave the house anymore, and you want to make his meals bland? Let the man have an Oreo for every meal. Let the man eat all of the butter per like bite of his roll that he could possibly. That's probably why he lives to be 94 after all. It's because he liked his butter, he liked his salt, he liked his gin and tonics, and he liked his desserts. Okay? Give that man whatever he wants. He's lived a good life. I'll never understand why they limit people at that like stage of their life.
I don't know why in my recommends I'm getting a video from 4 years ago called "Why They Call Me Weebo." and the thumbnail is you with two Pippi Longstocking braids and devil horns.
That was 4 years ago?
Yeah, it says Weebo Jones, 2.9 million thousand views. Why they call me Weebo. I don't know why that bubbled up from the lower realms of YouTube, but that's in my recommends. That's my next video up.
Are you gonna watch it? That was when I was such a baby. That was before I got serious with my content making. And by serious, I mean like I talked about more serious topics. Because that was, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that video was a video that I did of comments where I asked people to ask me questions in the comment section, and then I answered all those questions. And I had fun with it. It was a good time.
And then it's all older videos. A response to women against feminism and my sufferings from 3 years ago.
That was a good movie. Yeah, that was a good one too.
CNN blackmail, #CNN blackmail from 3 years ago.
I remember that video. Wow. My best days are behind me, apparently.
Halloween special. 'Tis the season for cultural appropriation from 3 years ago.
The intro to that video was a good time.
So many. Why are all these bubbling up?
Yeah,
everything is sexist, toxic masculinity from 3 years ago.
Are you where are you seeing these? On what page are you seeing these?
Just down the side of my recommends.
Oh, for this
from like the stream right
cocktail
now.
Hour for the stream?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's because they want people to watch my past content because it's better than my current content.
Ouch. Ouch.
What? How many points did I get for a cell phone?
See, Ken's saying I got that recommendation too. Remember we were talking about when YouTube went down the other day and they changed something? Yeah.
What did they change?
That was the assumption. Is it? Mm-hmm. Oh my God! What are they changing this time? And it's fair enough.
Yeah. Is it just they're opening up the recommends to older videos? Maybe
they did. My assumption is they did some kind of adjustment to the algorithm. Yeah.
Well, I can't wait to see how many comments I get on my older videos that are dead. There are a few videos that do get a lot of retention over time. Like That video I did responding to women who think that fetuses are a parasite.
Oh, yeah.
I titled it, quote, "A fetus is a parasite." You will not believe the amount of people that I've gotten on that video who think that I actually believe that that is a valid opinion and don't even bother to watch the whole video. Actually, no, you might believe it because people are stupid.
Oh, yeah, they are.
And they happen to judge things before actually learning about things. Birds or dinosaurs, deal with it. Is Weebo a trap? Yeah, that was one of the questions. Oh, that brings back memories. I wish, you know what? I wish I had time to do and indulge in that kind of content nowadays again. Instead of taking myself and my channel so seriously now. I wish I could do just the silliest of content, which I could totally. But then I'd have to split time between that and the other projects that I really want to get to, that the ones that'll actually cause growth, not the enjoyable ones. Not enjoyable, but like the fun and silly, stupid shit.
Your eyebrows are getting darker.
It's almost wintertime. I'm spending more days indoors. My hair gets darker in the winter and it gets lighter in the summer, so.
Well, I'm just looking at these thumbnails of you here that I'm sharing on screen, and it's like your eyebrows are much darker. Or your lighting's different. Or as you said, the season.
Probably a combination. The season is different, the lighting is different, and my eyebrow filler is probably also different. Oh, are we sharing? Yeah, you can tell my skin color also changes per the different videos that I'm in. Like over in the top one, why they call me Weebo. I'm a lot yellower than I am in the CNN blackmail, which is I'm a lot pinker.
Yeah. Because you're also in like a yellow background room in the why they call me Weebo.
You mean my old bedroom?
Yeah.
The CNN blackmail is at the Cabin of the Woods.
Yeah.
Let's see.
So there's the Halloween special, or an incomplete history of slavery. I remember I watched that. It was good.
You did watch it? Okay, good. Yeah. The Halloween, the 'Tis the Season for Cultural Appropriation, that was at college sophomore year. Everything is Sexist, Toxic Masculinity, that was at college freshman year. That was a response video. That was when I first learned how to make thumbnails, I think.
Social distance cocktail hour from Dis and Dat. Like, this is what happens.
Who the fuck is taking our title?
Right? There is Weebo a trap. There it is.
Sophomore year, college. 9.2K views. Why is that one of my more popular videos? I would like to know.
Because it's asking, well, trap. You would hit it right at peak interest.
Apparently.
Please don't call it now as a hero. 2K.
I still stand by that. I still stand by that opinion, by the way.
Wow, you look so firm and assertive. Oh, let's look at Weebo here moving.
I'm wearing one of my nice new jackets.
Actually, hold on. Let's go back up and get a little video motion here in a response to women against feminism. Look at baby Weebo.
Oh God, close up on my teeth. Okay, so I want you to know the difference in my thumbnails, and you can kind of tell. I used to not take thumbnails or like pre-shoot thumbnails, I guess, pictures for thumbnails. I just used to take them out of videos. I'd freeze frame one like frame in the actual video, and that would be the thumbnail. And I found that takes too much time, and I'm lazy, so I just posed before the actual filming of the thumbnail.
Right.
Later on, and you can actually see the difference. If you would like me to, I can bring it up. You can definitely tell there's a difference in the thumbnails. That is absolutely the case. I have a lot of videos. Oh gosh, how many do I have? I have 109 like videos. And how many streams? I have 349 streams.
Wow, nice.
Not all of them are live on the channel, obviously. All right, here. Share screen. Share screen. Hi, kids. Let's see.
Ooh, it's Weebo's back end.
Back end. Oh, you can actually see. Hang on. It's not just the application window, is it? There we go. You okay there?
I will be.
Look at all that video. Oh shit, I have way more than just 109 videos apparently.
Yeah, they just keep going. Look at that.
Okay, there we go. Okay. Here are my earliest videos. The anti-graduation speech, which is copyright claimed. My very first video. It's 4 minutes and 12 seconds.
Nice.
This was back before I did non-serious content. We have C in art class. We have poem and creep costume theater. And then we have This Is Why We Can't Have Nice Things. This was just back when I did skinny type stuff. Remember the victims of the Orlando shooting. Why did I make that video? Like, it makes sense that I made that video, but also why did I make that video? Entertaining myself with company slogans. You know what? This would be better if I did this not in studio. Hang on. It's fun to reminisce, though.
I'm so used to dark mode that white mode, light mode looks just weird.
Mm-hmm. There we go. Okay. There we go. Okay. So, fake mustache Weebo, devil horns Weebo. As you can tell, there came a point in time when it was a lot later. I can't believe I actually made that face. Oh, this one's a video with my brother in it. You can actually see him there.
Oh, I meant to ask, how is your brother's lo-fi channel coming along?
Good, I guess.
It's not up yet, is it?
I don't know.
Harass, prod, agitate.
Bug him.
This.
This is also at the cabin in the woods. Oh, the anti-SJW diss track. Remember when I did that?
Uh-huh.
This was really my time to shine back in 3 years ago.
This is before I was even on YouTube. It's crazy.
Seriously?
Yeah.
I have such a backlog. Fuck. When did I start doing the dark background? It was like right after my Happy Mother's Day video to my father. That was green screen, by the way.
Nice. Starting out with the green screen early.
That was 2 years ago. Green screen was all the way over here. Oh, this was when my roommate, like right between here and here, because you can see the background change. My sophomore year roommate decided that she didn't want to live with me anymore. She just left.
Why?
Because she wanted a single, and we lived in a double, and so I got a double to myself for the rest of the year, and you can see that.
What did you do?
I didn't do anything.
Okay, well, okay, be honest.
I wasn't normal. I don't know. She didn't like talking to me.
Is that true? Really?
I guess. Remember when I spent time on my hair? I should do that more often. Yeah.
So what you're
look at the dark
saying
background.
Is your content's gotten a lot lazier.
No, I've just gotten lazier.
So it's not particularly your videos. It's symptomatic of your entire lifestyle that you've gotten lazier.
Yeah.
I
don't have as much free time. That's why. I look so cute in this video. God damn. I even have the cleavage and everything. God damn. That cat eye eyeliner. Beautiful. I have that shirt still. Oh. You should know that right up until like about which video is it? It's like, is it this one? It's where is it? Right around here-ish. I was working off of a MacBook. All the green screen stuff, not this. Okay, right in this area with this sect of videos, I had a green screen. Or not a green screen. I had a MacBook that I was using to do all of the editing, to do all of the everything. Are I not special?
Mm-hmm.
I'm fantastic. And now that I've upped my production value, I've gotten less time to do everything that I wanted to indulge on with production stuff. Wow. Memories. Lots of memories. I should do a stream where I just go back and I look at all my old content and see how much I've changed. Because I definitely have. Let's look at Polly's.
No, let's not do that.
No, you don't want to do that?
No, I don't think we should do that.
You don't think we should do that?
No.
We'll just remind the audience that we have like 6 collabs that we haven't finished yet. That'll get done in like...
No, it'll remind people of why they're not subbed to my channels, what it'll do. And I don't think they need any reminders as to that. I'm sure they're well aware.
You're on your way up. I keep losing subscribers. You keep gaining. You a good boy. Excuse me.
Excuse me.
Guys, Polly's dying. Pay respects.
It's my stream. I'll die if I want to.
It's my stream and I'll die if I want to.
Oh, my eyes are watering. Oh, shit. Terrible day. Oof.
Birds or dinosaurs, deal with it. Remember the Pro Jared drama? Yeah, and actually that's a video that I regret making. Because while I didn't actually outright condemn him for his shenanigans, because it was still alleged, I was making fun of him for it. And quite frankly, I did not need to pile on. So I regret it. I regret that video, but I'm going to keep it on the channel.
Oh, my God. Quite honestly, I didn't need to do that.
It didn't need to happen.
I just find that funny. That's good. It's honest. It's like, yeah, I was piled on. That's what happened.
Yeah.
That's good.
I was jumping on the bandwagon. And you know what? Quite frankly, that doesn't ever work out well for anybody, especially me. Bandwagon jumping. I'd much rather take my time and wait to actually cover anything to the fullest extent of which you can cover it before actually indulging in that thing. Which is why I'm taking forever and a day to release the Thought Patrol. It's because releasing things while they're happening is for basic bitches. And I am not a basic bitch. I am a complicated bitch. Ooh, Daniel Follman asks, Weebo, are you doing the variety show stream? I don't know yet. I don't want to make any promises in case I don't. Because I don't want to disappoint anyone. Because I have a sneaking suspicion that if I did decide to do the variety show stream, I wouldn't have time. Or if I promised to, I wouldn't have time to finish it. And I don't want it to be one of those things that is half-assed. So if I'm going to do it, it'll be next year that I know of. Assassins of the Great. Weebo, did you get a boo-boo on your lip? Yes, I did. Thanks for pointing it out. I also have a zit right here. And I have a zit right here. And I have a zit right here.
Did you get punched?
No.
Wow. Good.
Bit my lip.
Oh,
you ever
damn.
do that?
Yeah. I'm not sure if I've ever done it like that hardcore, but yeah.
Yeah. I was just hoping to go an entire stream without someone noticing it. But whatever. It's fine. It's fine. All right, so Polly, should we go 5 more minutes? So we're at 2.5 hours so that I can go to the bathroom at a reasonable time without having to cause myself a bladder infection?
But okay. Well, just 5 more minutes, all I had to say. It's cool.
Well, because you're not supposed to hold it. Otherwise, you give yourself...
See, what I was getting at by saying that is that speaking about your urine and your bladder was unnecessary. You could have just said 5 more minutes and then that would have been it. Whether you wanted to go do needlepoint, origami, stare at the wall, or urinate, whatever. It just didn't need to be said, is my point.
Well, Polly, what you have to understand is that I don't know what is too much information. I took that autism quiz on the internet again, and I got the exact same score as I did 3 years ago, which means something. And it means that I can't read the room like I should. And it means that I say things that I probably also should not.
All right, so what questions do we have for Weebo and Weebo's
id? What questions do we have that don't pertain to my lip injury? Which was super embarrassing, by the way. I absolutely love the fact that I can't even chew food without hurting myself.
I don't ever bite my lip, but the inside of my cheek when I'm eating too fast. Yep.
Weebo has no filter. No, she does not. And sometimes it gets her in trouble. But you guys don't have to live with me. So you only get like a partial extent of that, and that's only during the live streams. During the videos, I edit out so much shenanigans. Oh gosh. Like at least 10 minutes of shenanigans. I'm not even kidding. Daniel Follman, with your variety show, coordinating that many YouTubers would be a nightmare. I know, that's why I want to give myself probably more than a month if I did do it. Or give them more than a month and a half if I did do it. Yeah, I'm probably going to end up doing it next year. Just because this year has been a little bit insane with the craziness of the move and the COVID and the everything. So I'm not going to overexert myself. But that means that you guys are going to have to get on my ass about it next year. Gotcha? Good. The Assassin's of the Grey says, if you have to even ask the question, is this TMI? The answer is yes. The problem is, ladies and gentlemen, I don't think to ask that question. I just steamroll full speed ahead. And that's it. That's all. No mas. No second thoughts. It just happens. And then I suffer the consequences of my big mouth. Daniel Follman asks, Polly, does cold meds mess with your vertigo?
No, if anything. Good cold meds have pseudoephedrine in them, which is one of the things that I take for the labyrinthitis that leads to my vertigo in the first place. So no, not at all. If anything, it makes them better.
Nice. Weebo, any problem tenants yet? Not like problem tenants. I know in the other half of the building they're a lot noisier than on this half, which I'm okay with. I don't mind not having to deal with noisy people. But when I went over to repaint all of the... You okay there, Polly?
Medication maracas. Go on.
So when I went over to repaint the entire apartment for One West, which is just a studio apartment, so it was just the kitchen and the big bedroom, I could hear a lot of thumping around upstairs and a lot of children screaming. So I'm glad I don't live on that side of the building. Because, yeah, I'm basically, in order for the decent deal that I have rent-wise, I am on-site maintenance. Me and El Boyfriendo. So that takes a chunk out of our day. We had to literally repaint an entire apartment. Because when El Boyfriendo went in to touch up everything, he found that the apartment had been painted a different color from the standard that is in the entirety of the building. And so we had to repaint the whole building because it was very obvious where he went to touch things up. Weebo, are children allowed in your complex? Actually, yeah, a couple that just moved out of 2 North, just above us. They had a small child and they just had a second child, which is probably why they moved out, because they needed extra space for the second child. So yeah, children are allowed. It's just pets that are not. And I think...
Whoa. Jack Gunsky says, will you be moving to Oregon to get Quaaludes? Are Quaaludes legal in Oregon?
Yeah, every drug is legal in Oregon.
Oh, okay, that's what you're talking about. I thought you meant specific, because they don't make them no more. Like, they're literally like a Schedule 1 drug. Like, it's like, okay, everything's legal, but like stuff that's still currently made or available. I mean, you wouldn't want to take fucking methaqualone Quaaludes from the fucking 70s, the last time it was produced.
I wouldn't even know. Maybe you can ask someone nicely. So, Polly, we are at 2 hours and 31 minutes and 42 seconds. Do you have anything to say left to the chat?
Thanks for coming and listening to Weebo's id.
Yeah, thanks for listening to me, myself. There's no I. We need a third party for that.
Yeah, we'll have Eve come in and she can play your super ego.
Yeah.
She can be your conscience, I'll be your passions, and you can be the combination thereof.
I'm down. Let's do it. All right. So, Polly, do you have anything you want to shill?
Watch Red Letter Media. Watch Brad Jones. It's hilarious content. And then when you're done that, go watch all of Weebo's back catalog, because we're getting it recommended, so it must be awesome.
It is totally. That's what got me to almost 10,000 subs.
Don't go watch my back catalog.
No, watch Polly's back catalog, because I'm in there too. Go find the Weebo.
Yeah, Weebo is in there. The Star Wars holiday special thing we wrote together, and the MCU thing, and you've been on Noir Bar 2-3 times. Yeah.
So go watch Polly's back catalog for me.
Oh yeah, Daniel Follman asked about the MCU Men update. Weebo.
We'll talk about it, Polly.
Well, you have the Christmas season coming up. Any downtime there from work?
Yes, actually.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, shit.
What are you doing Thanksgiving week?
Thanksgiving?
Yeah,
I'll be down with that. You mean Slaughter of the Natives week?
Yes. Are you doing that?
Slaughtering natives?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. Well, fine. Your weekend just got a lot less enthusiastic. We'll talk. Anyway, anything else you want to show?
Nope.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, I will hopefully be releasing a video next weekend. I don't know what day, but it will be next week. Hopefully. Other than that, stay safe, stay sane. Thank you for joining us, and have a great rest of your day. Bye.
Have a good night, everyone.